welcome to my second video on this YouTube channel. So as you might already know from the introduction video, I'm mostly sharing my journey at Tetr College with you here. So today we're going to start off with the application process. I will go through it with you step by step and tell you my tips on it, and yeah, let's go. So first of all, if you want to apply for Tetr College of Business, you have to register yourself on the official website. So you go on tetr.com, where you will find a green button on the top right corner saying apply now. Then you choose your program which you are applying for, and then you just put in your personal details as the first name, last name, your mobile number, and also your email ID and the country you're from. And then you can just click on this little button and apply. But what is the online application? Let me tell you. The online application is divided into 6 steps, which I'm going to explain to you one after another. And it starts off with your personal details. Here it's pretty simple. You just have to give in your name, the date you were born, and also your nationality and some other stuff. So just general information about your person, and that's it. The next step is nearly the same and also very easy. You just have to give in your parents' details. But here you have to choose one parent, so rather your father or your mother. And maybe one thing you should know about this is that you have to specify the annual income of your parents. So if you don't know that, maybe ask your parents before you start applying for Tetr, so you just can fill this out pretty quickly, because these first steps of the online application are very easy and the last steps are a little bit more difficult and take more time. Here you have to put in your academic details, which means, for example, the name of your school or also where your school is located. And you need to put in your grades from class 12 and class 10 also. So remember that you need both. And let me tell you already that if you are accepted, you will have to provide your school documents in English. So if your school doesn't naturally provide the grades or like the school documents in English, then I would suggest you to do it already yet, because you need to certify it, and normally it takes a while, and with all the organization you will have before the first term, you will be happy if you already did that, because I didn't, and then I had 2 days to figure out how to find someone who could certify and translate it for me and not be so expensive.
3 weeks and 70 euros per page?
And one more thing about the grades, because different countries have different grading systems. So if you're a little bit confused with that, there will be different options in the online application. And if you don't know which one is yours, then just research it maybe in the internet. I was confused as well.
GPA, grade points, percentages? What is the grading system of my country?
But you will figure it out, and if not, you can always reach out to the Tetr team. So if you go on the website again, there is also contact us in the right top corner as well, and there you find an email address which you can contact, or you can also schedule a meeting with a counselor and they will be happy to help you. So don't worry about that. If you have any queries or anything, just reach out. Really don't hesitate to do so. Another thing which you have to provide in the academic part is a school reference person.
What?
And I was pretty confused at that point, because I personally didn't know what that is, since we don't have such person at my school, and I think many don't. So I've asked Tetr, and actually it's pretty easy. So you just need to choose any teacher or person of authority from your school who knows you very well, because they will probably get a call by Tetr and have to talk about you. So it should be really someone who can give personal examples, not in general, she's a good student, more likely more personal, so they can maybe also provide certain projects where they can show how creative you are. So really choose that person well, because it's going to be important for your application. The next thing is that you have to say if you've done any standardized tests, and if you didn't, then really don't worry, because I didn't either, and it's not so important for your online application. So if not, just click on no and that's it. But what is important is the next part, because now it becomes more personal. So in the next step, they want to know about your achievement in extracurricular interests, so meaning hobbies. So for example, you can give in if you have won any competition or have any sport you enjoy or anything you did. And if you have maybe videos about that, then you can also provide links. So there's also the option to do that. And for example, me, I've talked about music and put in my music videos or anything. The second thing you have to do in this step is already very important. This is about if you have already done any entrepreneurial things like doing business or projects or any ventures. And here I would suggest you to maybe concentrate on one, because you just have 200 words to provide what you've done in the past in that specific area, and they just want to know in general what you are interested in. For example, if you have designed several websites or anything, then just choose one project you did and talk a little bit about that, because in the personal interview, in the third step of the application process, you will have the chance to talk more detailed about all that you did. But here is just general info about you and like getting to know you in the first place, but just roughly. These are now 3 questions which are to get to know you better. And these 3 questions are, first of all, what makes you proud of yourself? The second thing is, what was an incident that completely changed your worldview? And the third thing is, why would you be a good fit for Tetr? And I know these questions can be very difficult. So for me, I really had to take some time and think about it. So that's, my tip for you as well. Calm down, you don't have to stress, you have time. You also can leave it for a day or 2 and just brainstorm a little bit, and when you get an idea, just write it down. So you might be wondering right now, what if I already started and now I'm not sure what to write in the next step and I somehow have to interrupt here? Then it's really no problem, because all the things you've written down are automatically saved. So you just log out and log in the next time and just move on where you finished. And one thing more about the texts in general, really make sure that you do it on your own. Don't use any AI or so. They try also to find it out, so they use an AI program themselves to look if you've done the text, for example, with ChatGPT, and they don't expect you to have a perfect English or so. As long as you can get your message along, it doesn't matter if there are any grammatical issues or anything. So be yourself and trust in what you write down. It will be perfectly fine. And then you're done with the difficult part. Now there are the last 2 steps. In the first one, you have to choose which scholarship you're applying for. There are 6 different options. I honestly don't have them all in mind right now, but what I can tell you is that you can choose more than one. And I would also recommend you to do so, because then you have a higher chance to get a scholarship. But don't choose several just because you think, okay, then I have a higher chance to get one, and what if all the others do 3 and I just have 1? It still should fit your application. So if you just fit the description of one of the scholarships, it's perfectly fine, but I'm sure you will fit at least 2. So for example, me, I chose the one with the top 1%, because I'm very good at music, but also was very good at school. And then also I chose the one with fulfilling my entrepreneurial visions with Tetr, because I had some visions I've talked about earlier in the online application. So you see, it should fit. So if it doesn't fit, then rather don't choose it, because then Tetr will also wonder why you applied for this scholarship, and that's not very beneficial for you. And then you're actually done. The last step is just to schedule your aptitude test, which is the second part of the application process, and of course submit your online application on time.